Viewers, look at the pictures on your screen. Look straight into the middle of your screens. Viewers, what do you see? You see patriots being caught by the scruff of their neck and thrown out of the newly minted Jammu and Kashmir Assembly. Viewers, you would think these pictures where people speaking for India are thrown out in their own country from an assembly would be in Pakistan. No, viewers, this is not Pakistan, this is not Bangladesh, this is Srinagar. This is Kashmir. This is Jammu and Kashmir. Viewers, in the garb of democracy, the newly minted India bloc government in Jammu and Kashmir is undermining the national unity. Look how those who swear by the constitution and asked you to vote to uphold it just about 6 months ago are today wanting to replace it with a parallel constitution. That's right, in the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly today, the writ of the Supreme Court was treated contemptuously by bringing a resolution to reinstate Article 370 that is part and parcel of the architecture of separatism that blocked Jammu and Kashmir's integration with India by mooting a separate constitution, a separate flag, a separate penal code. Viewers, look at those pictures, and I'm going to stay full frame on those pictures. You see that? That's the poster on the floor of the assembly, hauled up by an individual belonging to Engineer Rashid's party, separatist in chief, viewers, who's cooling his heels in jail today. His brother, who is an MLA elected to the House, viewers, because the Supreme Court deemed fit to hold elections in this state. Look what he's holding up. Restoration of Article 370 and 35A, release of political prisoners. Viewers, no one in the 29 seats of Jammu that voted for the BJP wants the restoration of Article 370. By holding up this placard, viewers, these individuals from Kashmir are spitting in the face of patriots in Jammu, their own compatriots in Jammu. Viewers, this is the two-nation mentality. Just because we are a little more in number in the valley, it's going to be our way or you can take the highway. Worse, viewers, when some patriotic and law-abiding legislators decided to oppose other India bloc members who were backing the reinstatement of Article 370. Yes, viewers, it's not just the AIP. The resolution was moved by the government. The India bloc, viewers, that same India bloc that holds up the constitution. Yes, viewers. Think about that. Think about that. Viewers, when some patriotic and law-abiding legislators decided to oppose other India bloc members who were backing the reinstatement of Article 370 or holding up pro-Article 370 banners, they were thrown out of the assembly. Look at them. They are being pulled, dragged, as if they are criminals. Speaking for your motherland, viewers, on the floor of the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly today is a punishable event. That's right. If you just boost the gnat, you will even hear. You will hear the sloganeering, anti-India sloganeering, viewers, as these people are being clapped out, thrown out. It is almost as if the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly, as I told you, has been turned into the Pakistani Parliament, for only in Pakistan would legislators be thrown out for supporting the abrogation of Article 370. Next time, viewers, Rahul Gandhi holds up the constitution, you show them these pictures. You tell him, does your constitution say anywhere that you cannot unfurl the flag, the national flag of this country? Does the constitution anywhere say? And you must ask him this question, viewers. that there should be two constitutions in this country. Viewers, the Speaker ordered the eviction of protesting BJP MLAs. Why? Because they said we are not going to allow anyone to sever Kashmir from the Indian Union. Let me remind you tonight that those who threw out Indian patriots are not only undermining India's national interest, but also undermining the writ of the law and constitutionality, the same constitution that they have pledged to uphold. The Supreme Court no less held that Article 370 abrogation was constitutional. And let me take you through. I'm not going to remove those visuals, but also, viewers, I'll put out some graphics, some excerpts of the Supreme Court judgment delivered by the Chief Justice of India on Article 370's abrogation. He says, Article 1 states, India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states, applies in its entirety to Jammu and Kashmir. That Article 370, a temporary provision designed to address states' immediate needs. The President has the power to revoke Article 370 in special circumstances and no limits on President's power to tackle breakdown of constitutional machinery. The abrogation of Article 370 is part of a 70-year process to integrate Jammu and Kashmir with the rest of India. Viewers, anyone today disagreeing with the Supreme Court is actually pushing for the disintegration of India, viewers. The Supreme Court didn't just end there. It said process of reorganization Jammu and Kashmir into two union territories was constitutionally valid. States have no independent sovereignty. They derive existence from the Constitution. Worse, even as this drama was playing out inside the House, outside the Assembly, dreaded jail terrorist and mastermind of Kashmir Hindu genocide, Yasin Malik's Pakistani wife was petitioning Rahul Gandhi, urging him to use his influence to get her husband free. Viewers, she wrote a lengthy letter to Rahul Gandhi saying that cases have been concocted against her husband. I request you to use your high moral and political influence in the parliament and initiate a debate in the case of Yasin Malik, who could become an instrumentality for bringing organic and not cosmetic peace back to Jammu and Kashmir. The letter has raised eyebrows. Why the BJP is asking, why other nationalists are asking, does a separatist wife and India basher think that Rahul Gandhi would lend a sympathetic ear to her pleas? The BJP is also accusing the Congress of humouring her by not rejecting her demand outright. Yasin Malik is no agent of peace. So the Congress should have publicly distanced itself from this plea. Any patriot would have done so. But no, viewers, the Congress hasn't. Look at Yasin Malik's record for yourself. In 1990, Yasin Malik led militants, terrorists, Islamist terrorists, to kill 4 IF personnel, men in uniform. It's an attack on the state. In 2022, NIA court sentenced Malik to life imprisonment in 2017 terror funding case. Malik is accused under UPA of conspiracy to commit terrorist act as a member of a terrorist organization. The NIA says Malik was in constant touch with the ISI, his Pakistan wife, quote, very close to, unquote, the spy agency. NIA evidence to prove that Malik received 15 lakhs from Pakistan to fuse secessionism. Malik has confessed, viewers, on the BBC to orchestrating Neelkant Ganju's assassination. He was a judge, viewers. And that really kicked off the genocide of Kashmiri Hindus. Malik's wife is no friend of India either. In August 2023, Malik was made an advisor to the interim Pakistani Prime Minister Anwar ul Haq Kakkar. A year before this, she said Indian troops have turned Kashmir into a living hell. Indian army has raped 11,250 women, 22,942 widowed in Kashmir. Has this woman ever spoken about POK and the illegal occupation of Pakistan and what it has done there by denying democracy, real democracy, to that part of Pakistan controlled Kashmir, viewers, occupied Kashmir, viewers? No, she hasn't. In September 29, she said, India, the voice of Kashmiris is being suppressed against the injustice. Viewers, it just goes on and on. Despite both Maliks being a threat to India, there has been no official stand taken by the Congress party on their request. But many political observers are not surprised that the Congress has not taken a stand clearly rejecting Malik's plea. They talk of Congress being soft on separatists. And there is some evidence. In 2006, Malik was legitimized, this killer of Hindus. He got a 1-hour meeting with Dr. Manmohan Singh. In 2007, the court stayed the murder trial in the IAF case against Malik. Why? Because the prosecution under the UPA wasn't doing its job. In 2013, he got a passport to travel to Pakistan. For a Lashkar-e-Toiba meet, he ended up meeting Hafiz Saeed. 4 years after, viewers, that wretched person carried out the 26/11 attacks on Indian soil. In 2016, the Congress backed, the UPA backed JNU's infamous Afzal League. In 2024, it endorses a resolution to reinstate Article 370, and viewers, those are the pictures, that's the evident proof of it. Now let's open this up, because a lot of questions have to be asked tonight. And I want to first begin, viewers, with Abid Wani, leader of the National Conference. Mr. Wani, do you believe that the people of Jammu are your brothers? That the National Conference represents their interests? Yes or no?
I don't need to answer this question. This is a total cross. I'm
asking you, sir. Please answer the question for the record. I don't want you to not say, I didn't give you an opportunity to answer the question. So please answer the question. Do you believe that the people of Jammu are your brothers? Number one. That the National Conference represents their interests? Yes or no?
Of course, yes, Rahul. No doubt about it.
Okay. Now can I ask you my second question, sir? Do they have no right to express themselves, or are there feelings, sentiments completely superfluous to you? They have voted for the BJP, sir, the people of Jammu. They didn't vote, sir, for the restoration of Article 370. They didn't vote for the restoration of 35A. They didn't vote, sir, to release prisoners, yet their representatives are being pulled by the scruff of their neck and thrown out. Why, sir?
Now, Rahul, in the premise of the debate, you just said about the pandemonium that took place in the Legislative Assembly today. You know, it was contrary to what has happened there. The BJP legislatures, once the resolution was passed, they just stood on the table just in front of the speaker and started doing gestures that were unwarranted, despite the speaker continuously asking them to stop and let us have a fair debate. But they didn't stop and went violent on an independent minister who happens to be Member Parliament Engineer Rashid's brother. So this was all that happened. And yes, I think this shouldn't have happened. The things could have
Mr. Wani,
gone.
I am not going to contest what you're saying. I want to ask you, you're talking about a post facto action. I'm talking about what happened to start this problem. Why was this resolution brought in when you know that the people of Jammu, 50% stakeholders, sir, do not respect the sentiment behind that resolution? Why was it brought in the first place? Because you think that they are Hindu majority Jammu. We don't care about Hindu majority Jammu. We care about Muslim majority Valley. Isn't it, sir? Isn't that the two-nation mindset that you are going ahead with? I'm asking you this.
And Rahul, this is such a pathetic argument from your side.
How is it, sir?
Just look at our cabinet representation. Is there anything I have to say you about the representation we have given to Jammu? We have a deputy chief minister. For God's sake, we have ministers from Jammu. We have given them undue representation. We didn't got that electoral gain as much as we had expected from Jammu. Yet we gave them a fair
Why
share
didn't
of
you get it, sir?
in our cabinet.
Why didn't you get it?
No, it's the voters' choice.
It's not, sir. It is the voters' choice to disagree also with your manifesto, and they have. And you said, I didn't say this, the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, the Union Territory, came out and said, I will be everyone's Chief Minister. And he's sitting there
100%.
quietly when the legitimate representatives of one half of the state, Jammu, are saying, please don't do this. This is an insult to our sentiments and the people who voted us. But you went on with it. Okay, 1 second. You say this is democracy. This is an open invitation to everybody. So, because we are in the majority, we can do what we want because we have the legitimate right on the back of our votes, viewers. You know what that is called, viewers? That's called majoritarianism. That is what they accuse the BJP of day in, day out. So they today, viewers, because they are in a majority in Kashmir, will use their mandate to force unpleasant anti-India declarations, resolutions down the throat of the rest of the nation. That is majoritarianism, viewers. That is exclusivism, viewers. That is supremacism, viewers. 3 words I've exposed the national conference, viewers. 3 words.
Rahul, can I come in?
You please. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Isn't this majoritarian might is right?
Absolutely wrong. If you can call out us for bringing a resolution that is the reflective of the will of the people.
Which
that we had
people?
promised
Which people? Make it clear.
People of Jammu and Kashmir.
No, not of Jammu, sir.
Yes,
29
you
seats
can't
have been
decide.
won by the
The
BJP.
reality
29
is-
seats
the reality
have not
is
given you the
Kashmir
authority.
National Conference
29
is right
seats,
now having the
29
majority.
constituencies have not given you the
Rahul,
authority. Lakhs of people have
I-
not given you the authority to
Rahul,
go ahead with this agenda. Will you?
Rahul,
Will you today?
Rahul,
Will you
Rahul,
today
Rahul,
ignore
Rahul.
them?
Rahul, I wish you would have called out the majoritarianism that happened on 5th of August 2019 when nobody among us was taken into confidence, when all of us were put behind bars.
So you were not
and
needed to be taken into
without
confidence. The
anybody-
Supreme
you are
Court
not
has
calling out-
upheld
you are not calling
upheld
out
the
that-
validity of the abrogation of Article 370. Viewers,
was our
this is the
model.
same national conference that today.
Rahul.
No, Mr. Vani, I am asking you, has the Supreme
Come on,
Court
you are
not
not
settled
letting
this
me finish.
issue?
You are not letting me finish, Rahul.
Okay,
There's
you
no
tell
point of
me,
debate
has the
today.
Supreme Court not settled this issue?
You know, getting back to you're shifting the goalposts. One, you are
am I
saying
shifting?
about the pandemonium. Now you are going towards the courts.
This is not pandemonium,
let's-
sir.
Let's
Don't
let's-
trivialize
let's-
this. This
for
is
example,
not
you are saying-
pandemonium.
Oh. If you are saying that the Supreme Court judgment has unanimously decided on Article 370, and what we are by bringing this resolution, we are contemptuous of the Supreme Court. No, it's not that.
Okay.
2018 judgment of the same Supreme Court has held that Article 370 acquired permanent status. Because the Constituent Assembly ceased to exist and the President had no
Okay.
formal and moral obligations to go with the provisions. But when the Supreme Court recently decided unanimously, we did not disrespect the court order. What we are saying that this is a reference point. We may appeal in the future with a cordial government that will listen to the aspirations and grievances of its own people. So let's have that. Let's have a fair debate on it.
Viewers, the debate was had, it was very fair, it was in a court of law. It can't get more undilutedly fair than that. And the justices, the chief justices, their entire bench, and I've just read out, that's why I read out once again, viewers, the operative parts of that judgment. Settle the issue. This matter should not come up. This matter is only coming up, viewers, to prove to certain Indians that their views are not at any level relevant to the ruling establishment. This, as I am saying, viewers, once again, is a two-nation mindset. Let me open this up. Let me bring in the BJP Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma, this question will be asked, obviously. What have we got ourselves into? And when we are talking about this Islamist mindset taking a grip of the valley once again, Sushant Sareen, you will remember, it was not I, but it was Omar Abdullah who said that the Islamist wave is upon us when he lost the election to Engineer Rashid, whose brother is holding up that placard, viewers, which is underlining the separatism in the valley today. Sanju Verma.
Thank you, Rahul. You know, that's been a heated exchange for the last 18 minutes. I will take much less than half the time. You know, first and foremost, I always say, the devil is in the detail. You read out some operative parts of the Supreme Court verdict pertaining to December 11, 2023, where the Supreme Court, the 5-judge bench, upheld the abrogation of Article 370. Be that as it may, I think I need to reinforce for the benefit of your viewers these few lines by the Supreme Court bench in 2023, wherein the Supreme Court said the declaration issued by the President exercises the power and clause 3 of Article 370 in a culmination of the process of integration. Thus, we do not find that the President's exercise of powers under clause 3 of Article 370 were mala fide. We hold the exercise of presidential powers pertaining to abrogation of Article 370 in this case to be valid. And then, very quickly, the Supreme Court went on to say, concurrence of the state government was not required to apply all provisions of the Constitution using Article 371D. So the President of India taking the concurrence of the Union government was not mala fide in this case. In simple terms, it basically means that the Supreme Court clearly said that when the then President Ram Nath Kovind used the powers bestowed on him by Article 371D to abrogate Article 370, he was doing it well within the constitutional powers that have been bestowed upon him, and nothing was mala fide with respect to abrogation of the said article. And very quickly, please remember, Justice Chandrachud additionally said that paragraph 8 of the instrument of accession, which was signed on the 26th of October 1947 by none other than Maharaja Hari Singh, that clearly said that the moment the instrument of accession was signed and executed by Maharaja Hari Singh, Jammu Kashmir lost the element of sovereignty as a separate state. And Justice Chandrachud also said that when the instrument of proclamation was signed by the then Yuvraj Karan Singh on the 25th of November 1949, that proclamation clearly said that the Constitution of India supersedes any other provision that any state, including Jammu Kashmir, might have had in the past. So clearly, the instrument of accession, the Supreme Court verdict of December 11, 2023, and most importantly, in a parliamentary democracy, the Parliament on the 5th of August 2019 also upheld the abrogation of Article 370. And what did Omar Abdullah say? Do you remember what did Omar Abdullah say recently? He said abrogation of Article 370 was done by Parliament. It is not God's will, so it is reversible. And then, making a mockery of the Supreme Court, he said, so what if a 5-judge bench upheld the abrogation? Maybe if it had gone to a 7-judge bench, they may not have upheld the abrogation of Article 370. Basically, if there is anyone who's shifting the goalpost rapidly with brazen impunity, it has been the National Conference and Omar Abdullah and his father, who as recently as May 2024 made that shameless statement that, you know, do you think Pakistan churiyan pehenkar baitha hai? If you decide to take back POK, Pakistan will throw an atom bomb at India. Pakistan is not wearing bangles.
Okay.
I mean, why are you speaking like the brand ambassador of rabid Islamists from the other side of the border?
Let me ask Kamru Chaudhary, and I also want to bring in Sushant Sareen here. This is important points now. Mr. Kamru Chaudhary, can I ask you something? And be honest, put your hand on your heart. You talk about majoritarianism, and I'm not talking in the communal sense. You talk about how a majority in parliament is misused constantly, then might is right. So I'm asking you, sir, should BJP MLAs have been thrown out for merely expressing the views of those that elected them? Yes or no? Answer me this question first.
No, answer cannot be a yes or no.
Oh, it can't be a yes or no. So then tomorrow, hang on, tomorrow when the Waqf board bill is moved in parliament, because you are a minority party, how much is it? 99, 95, what is it? 99 MPs? You should be picked up and thrown out, each one of you, through the scruff of your neck.
You have done that. 150 MPs.
Take a position, sir. You supposedly uphold the constitution of this country. Your boss runs around with the empty, by the way, empty covered viewers constitution. So I'm asking you, please answer me tonight. Don't tonight run away from this question. This is a very important question. Should MLAs who were voicing their veto given to them by the people who elected them, in the House during a democratic debate, should they have been thrown out? Yes or no, Kamru Chaudhary?
My counter question, was it necessary for 150 MPs of the opposition chucked out of the parliament by the Bharatiya Janata Party last parliamentary session?
Viewers, here it comes. Whataboutery. They had a problem with that.
This is not
They had a
whataboutery.
problem
This
with
is
that,
your
but they do
perception.
exactly
This is the
that and
hypocrisy that
worse,
is getting
because let me
exposed.
tell you, viewers,
You
one
blame
second,
the Congress
that
party.
was a
You blame
decision.
the
One
Congress
second,
party.
Mr.
This
Kamru
resolution
Chaudhary. I'm
that
only
is
asking you a
passed in
simple
Kashmir.
question. If
No,
you
you did
have
not let
a
it. You
consistent
permitted
belief in the Indian
BJP
Constitution, yes or no? Yes or no? Or is that also going to be a question that can't be answered in yes or no?
Rahul, you have permitted Bharatiya Janata Party a sweet amount of time. I'm just asking.
I am only asking you a
1/10
fundamental
of the
question,
time.
sir, and you can't give me the answer to that question. I'm asking you, Kamru Chaudhary, should people who legitimately, given the fact that you complain about it day in, day out, okay, should they be legitimately, when they are asking questions on behalf of their constituents, be picked up and thrown out of a house? Yes or no? Simple. I'm not even talking about the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly. I'm talking about the principle. Yes or no?
No, absolutely not.
No, absolutely not, viewers. Then why was the Congress, that actually only has less than the number of fingers on my hand, MLAs sitting in that house, not protesting this action that was taken, viewers?
Rahul,
Why was it allowing somebody to move an anti-India resolution, viewers? They believe in the Constitution. Now, second question. I'm going to ask you this question and I'll give you all the time to answer. Mr. Kamru Chaudhary, you say that you believe in the Constitution. What did the Constitution say? That Article 370 was a temporary provision. On the basis of this, sir, 53 presidential orders, many of them under Nehru and the Congress party were moved to water down Article 370. If you believed in the robustness of Article 370, why were these presidential orders passed, sir, under Congress regimes? Number one. Number two, viewers, and this is the second question, Mr. Chaudhary, and take your time to answer. If you believe in the Constitution, then you will know that that demands that we also follow the law of the land, which was set by the Supreme Court in this matter. If that is indeed the case, then the Supreme Court upheld the abrogation. Why are you going against the spirit of the Supreme Court? Two questions to you, sir.
Yeah, first and foremost, let me answer and specify out here what are the exact position of the Congress party and myself. Congress party, prior to the Supreme Court verdict, had opposed the abrogation. Rather, the manner in which it was abrogated, how the Kashmiris were insulted by reducing their statehood to a union territory. That was the Congress's main objection. Post the Supreme Court verdict, we have accepted the verdict. It hardly makes whether Amar Abdullah and the cabinet moves a resolution and gets it passed from the assembly. It's hardly immaterial out here, because most of the states has passed resolutions like this against the draconian discriminatory CA laws that was passed by the central government. There were resolutions passed against the farm laws also. There were resolutions passed against the draconian NRC law, NRC that was supposed to be there. So it's not a precedent out here that the Congress party is supporting the restoration of 370 out here. We never accept it, because 370, what did the Congress do? It was only during the Congress's regime that the central laws were extended to the Kashmir Valley out here. Jurisdiction of Supreme Court in 1954 was put into the Jammu and Kashmir.
Then why are you supporting the National Conference, sir? Then why are you supporting the National Conference that is moving that is moving a resolution that you profoundly disagree with?
Wait, BJP's partner.
Why are you supporting the National Conference?
Let me listen. BJP's partner Telugu.
Why are you supporting the National Conference? Why are you supporting the National Conference? Why are you supporting the National Conference? Why are you supporting the National Conference?
We are supporting the National Conference to provide a stable government to the state of
Stable
Kashmir.
government. They don't need you, sir.
Oh my
They showed it to us.
Can I
They
come
don't
in
need
here,
you.
Rahul?
Part of the
Yes.
government.
This
One
man
second.
is lying rabidly
You are
through
not
his
a
teeth.
part
Can
of
I
One
the
quickly
second,
come
just
in,
one
please, for
second,
20 seconds?
one second. I also want to bring in Sushant Sareen, and I'll bring you in right after that, Ms.
And
Verma,
most
to set the
importantly,
record
Rahul,
straight.
you have
Please, he
given
hasn't
me
spoken. No, 1 second. I want to ask this question fundamentally. Sushant Sareen, this could be Pakistan. Have we walked ourselves under Supreme Court pressure into an election that, quite frankly, goes against the national interest in some ways. I know a lot of people will say, oh, this is mainstreaming these separatists, but as I can see them, they're sitting now inside our assembly, living off all of us, getting fat paychecks for lifetime.
So Rahul, look, I think we had to hold elections. Forget the Supreme Court. If it had not said hold the elections by October, it would have said next year. What new would have happened by next year that we would have been able to hold, fresh elections in Jammu and Kashmir? We could not keep the political process out of the union territory now indefinitely. So elections had to be held. Number one. Number two. I think when the government in the center did the constitutional reforms, incidentally, everybody keeps saying Article 370 has been abrogated. It hasn't been abrogated. It's just been amended. So it was constitutional reforms that were carried out. And when those reforms were carried out, the Article 370 is still part of the statute books. It's still part of the constitution. But when those reforms were carried out, the expectation was that there would also be a kind of new political effervescence, a new political alternative that would emerge. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened. What has happened, and which is why I have a slightly nuanced position, Rahul, from what you and Sanju Verma are taking. I don't entirely agree with Kamru or the gentleman from NC. But my position is that, look, okay, fine, a resolution has been passed. The pandemonium which happened today, and I think those are very unfortunate scenes, it was caused by that character, from that guy from Kupwara, whatever that fellow's name is.
No, it's not actually. This was the resolution that was brought in by the National Conference.
One second. See, the resolution which has been brought in does not say anything about Article 370. It talks about a conversation with the central government on what kind of a constitutional status the state will have. In fact, if you look at it in a proper context, that conversation has to happen between the center and the UT, because ultimately the center is committed to restoring statehood in the UT, right?
Let's not confuse statehood, sir, with something that was brought in to integrate Jammu and Kashmir and enforce the writ of the law of the land and the constitution on that particular union territory. So let's not confuse these two issues. I really don't care a fig leaf about statehood. And I don't think I can be nuanced about an attack on India's sovereignty and unity. 1 second. Let me just bring you back in, Mr. Sareen. Yes.
I don't think the assembly itself was, questioning India's sovereignty or integrity. I think it was one or two of those characters, the guy who was holding that poster, Engineer Rashid's brother, and those kind of third-rate fellows. But by and large, I don't think that kind of stuff had happened. Even so, I would
releasing political prisoners, demanding everyone standing up, wanting the restoration of Article 370 would create the architecture of separatism once again. Would it or would it not? Would it not deny Valmiki's? Would it not deny citizenship rights, full, including voting rights, to Pak refugees who have come and settled in the valley? What would it do to all the various SC, ST, Valmiki communities? Think about it.
How is that, Rahul? How has that even come up? That I don't think that's in question anymore.
Okay.
Because Article 370 is not coming back unless you have the numbers to amend the constitution. Okay. Nobody has the numbers to amend the constitution.
Viewers, if that is indeed the case, if I am going to now take Sushant Sareen at face value, then this, viewers, is grandstanding. And it is dangerous. This is virtue signaling. Virtue signaling to whom, viewers? To Pakistan? To Pakistan? To all sorts of separatist elements? Sanju Verma?
May I quickly come in? Thank you. Rahul, let me quickly, not deflect and digress. I don't think we need to conflate issues. We are talking about a resolution aimed at encouraging separatism and bringing back Article 370, which has been abrogated. And I will use the word abrogated. I will not be nuanced, because the scenes that erupted on the floor of the Jammu Kashmir Assembly leave nothing to one's imagination. And if you can't speak out now, then when will you do so? I just want to say one thing. Please understand very clearly, when people sit here and give bhashan, oh, Loktantra khatre mein hai, Samvidhan khatre mein hai, let's be very clear that in 1990, Squadron leader Ravi Khanna and 3 other Indian Air Force officials
Yes.
were gunned down. The perpetrator was Yasin Malik. Rahul, 1 minute. Between 1990 and 2014, for 24 long years, out of those 24 long years, 19 years, it was the Congress which was in power. But guess what? It finally happened in 2020 that Yasin Malik had to present himself before the Tada court, and in 2022 he was given life imprisonment for terror funding and criminal conspiracy. I want to ask the Congress, you were giving Jadoo ki Jhappi to Yasin Malik in the chambers of the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister in question was Manmohan Singh, and you accuse the BJP of flouting constitutional values. इतनी hypocrisy आप कहां से लेकर आते हो?
Well,
Let me
viewers,
tell you one more thing in
the
10
point
seconds.
about
In 10
hypocrisy,
Can I reply?
the point about certain people holding up the constitution and then resorting to this sort of behavior, which is completely unconstitutional, viewers, has been exposed. We can keep nuancing this, but as far as I'm concerned, viewers, if people standing up for India's unity are picked up and thrown out of a house which is constituted to express the will of the people, then viewers, that is a travesty.